Good morning, everyone. Hey, welcome to summer. This is the Memorial Day weekend, and it is the unofficial start to summer. Um, this week's newsletter, I just want to go over a couple of things with you folks about what's going on with the world. Newsletters have been pretty much neutral to the market. The market's confounding the recent actions in Iran. Haven't really spoken to that too much. Last time we had supply disruptions due to the Ukraine war with Russia and Ukraine, prices spiked pretty high, and then inflation hit about 6 months later. So prices have spiked, not as high as they did in the Iran, excuse me, the Russian conflict, but they do remain structurally imbalanced right now. Obviously, a lot of ships in the Middle East that can't get out, and so forth. The inflationary aspects are a really huge complication to the market. This last week, we got a brand new chairman named Kevin Warsh. Most of the time we have had new Fed chairman, the chairmen are challenged with some kind of a market event. Alan Greenspan, Ben Bernanke, you name it. There's usually something that happens. Janet Yellen had COVID. There's all kinds of things that have gone on here. So, again, I always suggest we remain cautiously optimistic and cautious with the resources we do have. This week we had a little fun with a little bit of a cartoon. Your choice, how you get your return, pick your poison kind of thing. A tightrope path, which is the market. We can run on this, high return in the stock market, higher reward, higher risk, high stress. One wrong step could drop you. Tightrope is all these little bubbles: AI bubble, real estate bubble, overvalued market. In this newsletter, we'll talk about the Buffett indicator again at record. I mean, beyond the 29 bubble record rates, rising interest rates, right? So you're thinking, the market's rallied off in the last couple of years on, hey, we're going to drop rates next year. We're going to drop rates this year. With the inflationary pressures that are just structurally in the cards, it might be very difficult for the Fed to drop rates until there's a recession, and then they'll be forced to drop rates. Geopolitical risks, we see that all over the world, not just with what's going on in Iran, Russia, China. There's lots of geopolitical tensions out there as countries start to pull in their stakes and work on their own countries. Inflationary pressures, which we weren't talking about much last year, are starting to mount. So the safer path, again, pick your poison, which is what we're trying to do, is kind of be neutral to the market, but safely walk around this long ridge. It's more boring, it's slower, but it's probably a bit less stressful for sure. This is Memorial Day weekend, so in a special sense, we want to make sure we do recognize those who have served and have sacrificed for us. This is the first year I can actually say. I'll share a little screen shot of my son here. He just yesterday received his wings for naval aviation. He hopes to become a fighter pilot and end up in Lemoore, California, in the U.S. Navy. He's in the Navy now, but he got these wings yesterday, all brand new. So he has a ceremony next week. So I'll be out in Texas for a bit of next week to celebrate his actual official pinning. So anyway, it's a good time to remember those who have served and sacrificed. I tell you what, this life over here, it's hard and it's boring, and your sacrifice is loneliness. So it's one of those things. Anyway, we hope you guys all have a great weekend. It's a good long weekend, and enjoy your families. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Later this summer, we'll be getting with every one of you guys with a phone call and hopefully a meeting, and talk about the risks and what's really going on with your families. And we'd be asking every one of you guys, how much are you willing to lose in the next market downturn? We all hope it just keeps going up, but structurally the imbalances would suggest at some point, I don't know if it's this month, next month, or next year, we're going to have probably a fairly large possible decline in this market. So we want to make sure we're talking to you about the potential risks in real terms. So anyway, you guys all have a great weekend. Thanks for reading and listening, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.